What's wrong with the software today is only recording 10 minutes. Okay, so here, activity A, dramas. Do we have any predecessor for this?
No.
A? No. What's the duration time for A? 3. Not 3.2, it's 3. It's comma. And if you crash it, I can crash it to 2 days. What's the $40 and the 80?
That's for 3 days.
If you do it in 3 days, it's gonna cost you $40. If you crash it in 2 days, if you shorten the activity A into 2 days, how much is it gonna cost you? 80, which is double. Okay, let me zoom in. Activity B, you have to have A before activity B, and it takes 2 days for normal, and if you crash it, 1. For the normal, how much is it going to cost? And if you crash it, just like we said before, if you want to expedite a project, if you want to crash a project, it makes sense that it's going to cost you more. And if you crash activities, low A, you need to focus on what? For what? Which activities do I need to focus on? Sam? 2 keys, yes. The critical path activities and the least expensive resources. Makes sense. Because if you focus on the critical path, as we said before and I repeat, what dictates the project time? What determines the project time? Not yet, that's a question. What did you say? The critical path and the critical time. So when you need to focus on the activities for the critical path. Because if you focus on something else, what's going to happen? It's not going to shorten the time. Okay? Again, then we have D and E.
But it's not good to crash.
What's that?
It's not good to crash.
It's not good. It's okay. If you want to speed up the project, that's fine, but it's going to cost you more. Unless you have to.
Crash here, more employees, more stuff.
Yes, crashing means you have to do it faster, and when you do something faster, you have to spend more money, which is more people, more.
But it won't be accurate. Accuracy is very low.
Why?
Because you're watching, you're not doing everything.
There's a possibility of making errors. Yeah, there's a possibility, yes. But still, you can control it.
We won't reach the distance unless it's emergency.
Unless you have to, because it's going to cost you more money, exactly. Now, when we have star over here, what does that mean? Partial crashing allowed. What is partial crashing
Some
allowed?
parts.
Yes.
Some parts. We are rushing upon it and some parts.
Over here, partial crashing not allowed.
You can. You have to crash it all the way.
What does that mean? Amjad, sir. Amjad, what is partial crashing allowed and partial crashing not allowed? If you notice D, it's going from 4 to 1. I can crash it from 4 days to 1. Here, E, I can crash it from 3 days to 1. But hey, this one is partial allowed, here, not allowed. Which means, I can go from here, D, I can go from 4 to 3, from 3 to 2, from 2 to 1. This is partial. However, E, I cannot go from 3 to 2. Either 3 or 1. Partial is not allowed. Clear? Okay. What it says over here, if you do activity D, it's going to take you normally 4 days. But you know what? If you crash it, you can crash it from 4 to 3. And it's going to cost you some money.
It means 3 days or 2 days or 1 day.
Yeah. Or you can do it in 3 days, and it's going to cost you more. You can do it in 2 days, it's going to cost you also more. And the minimum is 1 day.
I can control the cost.
Not you can control the cost. You can change the time. I can get this activity done in 4 days. I can get it done in 3 days. I can get it done in 1 day, 2 or 1. But activity E, it's either I do it in 3 days or more.
You can't do it.
I cannot do it in 2 days. For example, I have to hire a machine, or I have to rent a machine. And if you bring this machine, it's either if you bring it, it's not worth doing 2 days. You have to do it in 1 day. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I'm going to pause over here and I'm going to ask you to take a piece of paper out and I want you to tell me how much is going to cost you if you want, first of all, how much is it going to cost you for normal duration to complete this project. And I want you to tell me how much is going to cost you if you're going to crash it and how many days can we crash this project. Okay? Alright, I will pause this video and I'll give you time to finish. Alright, now going back to the lecture over here. Take how many days? You say?
8 days.
Okay, it should take 8 days. Just like over here. 8 days and it costs about $120. Correct? And this is a timeline that we have over here. Now you say, I'm going to crash C. That is incorrect. And some of you said, I'm going to crash D. That is incorrect because C and D have nothing to do with the critical path. And if you change the time, it's not going to change the project time. And the reason why I'm doing crashing is because I want to reduce the overall project time. I want to deliver it faster. So you said, okay. I said, reduce it from 8 days to 7 days and tell me how much it's going to cost. Logically, if I speed it up, it's going to cost me more. Now you told me I'm going to crash A. So A should take 3 days, right? According to the schedule over here. And I can crash it from 3 days to 2 days. Normally it costs $40. If I crash it, it's going to cost me $40 more. Okay? How do I know? Because it says over here, $40 per day extra if you crash it. Yes. And the normal cost, you just took the total of 40 plus 20 plus 20 plus 30 plus 10 should give you 120. Now if you crash it, it is 120. How much more money you going to incur? $40, which is $160. Now let me challenge you now. I want you to reduce it from 7 days to 6 days. We'll take it step by step. 6 days. So tell me how much it's going to cost me more. 200? How did you do that? Huh? So you can crash A 1 more day? But be careful before you do that. You can, but be careful. Before you do that, you need to calculate the critical path. Because we reduced the time over here. So tell me, where's the critical path?
There is 2. That's 7 and 7. Would be 7 days.
I don't know, you tell me. So it's
There
2.
A, B, E or A, D.
A, B, E or?
A, D.
Why A, D? How much is it going to take in D?
7 days.
7 days?
7 days.
Okay. Now if I...
We will take 8 days.
Uh,
Talking about 6 days.
so A is 2 days and B how many days? 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. And E? How many days takes E? 3 days. 3 days. So 3, 5, 6, 7, right? And if I go to A, C, C takes 2 days. That's 4. Okay? And A,
2 days.
how long does it take D? 5 plus 2? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days plus 2, which is 6. So still, A, B, E, still the critical path. So I need to shorten either A or B or